All right, I'm going to try to get through this video without coughing from mites. I've got a mite infection in my throat coming from Lizzo's bombs. And yeah, we're getting towards the summer now, so I'm going to have to go for a summer walking strategy, which I've discussed on my walk videos with my supporters regarding Tucker Carlson. Let me go ahead and read the poem first. I'm going to read one of Zach's poems. Gail's Sublime Climb. In life's vast tapestry, a thread of gold, a tale of courage, love, and strength untold. Gail's journey weaves a path through time, a self-discovery, a climb sublime. From shadows cast by a mother's disdain, a selfish, no-good girl she was named. Her calves once mocked and worth defied. Gail's spirit rose, her strength applied. Through trials and triumphs she has grown. With every hurtful word her resolve has shown. Insecurities a shadow cast, yet Gail prevails, unshackling the past. With every step, her spirit soars, confronting doubts, she opens doors. From a girl with polio-calves once shamed, to the sexiest woman alive, love unashamed. Gail's path, a testament to her power, each challenge faced, each passing hour. In the story of her life, she is the hero, embracing every part, from zenith to zero. So, that is another one of Zach's genius poetry. It's just his poetry is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'm going into summer walking strategy now. Here in Alabama, it gets really, really hot, starting about mid-May to about, I would say, mid-September. And because I don't have a car, I have to do my grocery shopping really early in the morning. And taking the bus, I do have a grocery store very close to me that I can walk to, but I also have one that I can take by bus that's pretty close to me. But I try to get all my shopping done by 8:30 if I can, because after 8:30 it gets really, really hot. Yeah, it's yeah, I know. I remember last summer. Last summer I walked. I would get up as soon as the sun came up. I found the best time to go was first thing in the morning. I've pretty much bought everything that I think I would need to buy at stores that don't open till 10 o'clock. Because without a car in the summer months, if I have to shop at a store that's only open at 10 o'clock, I will be boiling. I will get heat stroke practically. And part of my problem is that I have urinary frequency because of the mites and everything. So I don't like to drink a lot of water when I go out, because then I have to like pee every half an hour. And so yeah, I bought some sandals the other day, some really nice flip-flops, very similar to the ones that my mother bought me that I'm wearing right now. I can show you. This is what my mother got me. All right. I didn't realize how expensive sandals like this are and how hard they are to find. But I actually was able to take the bus the other day to get some sandals. I'll show them to you. They're really nice. Yeah, I got some sandals. Yeah, these are about $40 a piece. Those sandals my mother got me were expensive. They're a little different, but they're nice. You see, these are actually, they say they're yoga foam. So this is what I like to wear around the house. Yeah. And I found a place, but I had to take the bus to get out there, and they didn't open till 10 o'clock. But yeah, these are really, this is what I like to wear around the house, and I wear them in the shower too. So, yeah, this is, yeah, it's a little thick there, but it looks like it'll dry. Let me see. I've got something, yeah, what I have on mine, because I wonder if I got, yeah, this looks like it'll dry. I hope it doesn't get moldy because it's so thick. I guess it looks like it would dry well, though. I guess I'll find out. I think it'll be fine. It is a little, I just noticed how thick that is. I wonder if the other one's that thick up at the top. You say, why don't you just get thongs? They're uncomfortable. You know, especially, I like having something like cloth up at the top. Let me see what the other ones look like. Yeah, they'll probably dry fine. I mean, sometimes I wear my New Balance shoes out when I go for a walk, and usually and they probably have more material, like this is, yeah, they'll probably dry. I'll find out. Right now I'm doing good, but I've had these almost 20 years, though I didn't wear them a lot, but eventually this thing's probably going to break, and then I'm going to have to replace it. And I figured this is a pretty nice and thin here, though. I like that. That would dry really fast. Actually, I think that'll dry pretty fast. I guess I'll find out. Yeah. Finding a nice pair of these is really hard to find. Yeah, it looks like it will. See, I wear stuff like this in the shower. And, of course, I do have thongs. What I could do is wear these around the house and wear my thongs in the shower. I do have some thongs that I could use. I'll keep that in mind when I upgrade to these. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm going into my summer strategy, and that is so true about me, that poem. I was a very shy girl, and I was very ashamed of my polio-calves. My mother always taunted me about my polio-calves. She said, you have skinny legs just like your dad. Now, it's like I realize that, well, you know, I don't have polio legs anymore because I've gained some weight, but when I was a kid growing up, I actually wanted to gain weight. I was so skinny, I was embarrassed. So yeah, but I've learned as a result of Brent being in my life that it's really important to know that God intended for all of us to be beautiful. Yeah, I really believe that. Oh, those acid mites in my throat are making me cough. And I also believe that that our outward looks are often a reflection of who we are on the inside. Yeah, I do know for a fact that in the next life, what we're going to look like will be an expression of what we are on the inside. So some people that end up going to hell, they're going to be really ugly in hell, regardless of what plastic surgery or whatever they do in this present life. Like I have a vision of what I think Lizzo and Satan are going to look like in the lake of fire. I might include that in this video. Yeah. I have noticed Satan seems to have done a little bit of plastic surgery on Lizzo. Her skin looks a little bit better than it did a couple years ago, and I think that's part of how he's keeping her. But she is too obsessed with her body. She needs to be more obsessed with who she is as a person. Yeah. Anyways, I don't think she's going to be getting right. I've been thinking a lot about her. I will say this much, as far as Tucker Carlson goes, we have bought Twitter. We got together with all the conspiracy law honoring nations, pooled our money together from our various governments and bought Twitter. But we decided to retain Elon Musk as the CEO, though you're going to hear in mainstream news that he just hired a woman to be the CEO, and I forget her name. But I think that's all a cover-up to make it appear. You say, why did you buy Twitter? Well, we appreciated the fact that Elon Musk was willing to sponsor Tucker Carlson, who deserves to have a voice. And it seemed like Lizzo's next strategy was to try to bankrupt Twitter for that by making all the advertisers defect and leave Twitter. I mean, Elon Musk has already had a problem with that because he won't tart the satanic party line, you know? And so we decided to buy Twitter. So basically it's owned by all the conspiracy law governments of the world. From what I understand, you must say, which countries have bought it then? That would be China, Russia, United States, Germany, United Kingdom and Ireland, Australia, I probably left some out, Israel, all the conspiracy law honoring nations. And I hear that there's more getting on the bandwagon. And even though I suggested to my man that we buy Twitter, and I hear that Brent decided to go ahead and buy Newsmax as well. I have boycotted Fox News. I am no longer watching them. Well, I wasn't watching them that much anyways, but I boycotted them. I no longer watch them. Mainstream Fox. Now, Gabriel Chana, Fox News, 00 on cable, you can still hear Tucker. He's still broadcasting there. That's 00 on cable and at my website, gabrielchana.blog. But we thought it would be a good idea if he still had a mainstream news voice, because what Lizzo could do is she could, especially like with these upcoming, I call them fake news presidential elections coming up, she could get her patsy into power, just like Lori did with with Biden, and just pick the next fake news president. Yeah. All she has to do is lie about the election results, which Lori did in the past. And if she has control over all the news media, she can pull it off, which is what happened in the last election. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I decided to become the president. Yeah. Because we knew that the fake news president was basically a Lori McBride patsy. They deliberately picked somebody who doesn't have all his marbles simply so that they could control him. So he would just do as he was told. And that's not very good for the country. Anyways, so what we did to make it hard, I created a new position called presidential assistant, okay? And if we like who wins in mainstream news, we will make them presidential assistant to President Brent. If we don't like them, then that position will not be filled. Yeah. So if you go to my website, you can see all the posts on that. But anyways, we bought Twitter, and I hear other nations are joining in. So it's kind of like owned by all the conspiracy law honoring countries of the world, and they're playing a game. I've noticed this from watching mainstream news. They're playing a game to make it appear like this didn't happen. And I think that's part of the reason Elon Musk decided to hire this woman CEO, though he's actually the CEO, okay? Simply to make it appear like all that China, Russia, and all these countries didn't just buy Twitter. See, why'd you buy Twitter? We don't want him to have to depend on advertisers for his revenue. Okay? Yeah. It's very expensive to operate this Twitter because it's so huge, right? So we don't want him to be advertiser dependent to stay financially afloat. So we decided to buy Twitter too, so he can concentrate. Elon Musk is a good person, by the way. Yeah, he's been in my cabinet for years. We've had him along with Andrew Torba of Gab in charge of Gabriel Chana Credit Union. So I was impressed that he offered Tucker Carlson a platform there. Yeah. I have been talking brain to brain with Tucker Carlson. Brain to brain seems to have improved, and he's telling me that that they're working on setting up the news studio for his newscast. Apparently, it's a major operation. We did try to take over Fox, but that one has been a little bit more difficult. I mean, the main Fox News channel. And basically what happened with the main Fox News channel is a lot of the broadcasters there, like Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Janine Pirro, Greg Gutfeld, have migrated over to Gabriel Chana Fox News. And we took over Fox, but Lizzo is overriding basically they're now working for Gabriel Chana Fox News. And so if you go to mainstream Fox and you see them, you are probably watching a Jesuit clone of the broadcaster. So if they seem a little off, that will be it. We've been trying to force Gabriel Chana Fox News into the mainstream Fox slot, but it appears Lizzo has been successful in overriding that. She's probably, I think what she has done is she's broadcasting from her space fleet. Yeah, and she's able to shove it in there, in that spot. So if you want to see Tucker, you can see him at 00 on cable. It appears he's going to go mainstream through Twitter and possibly through Newsmax. Tucker seemed to be telling me that he hasn't completely solidified his plans yet, but that he's planning on using Twitter to do what he did at Fox previously. You know, when he was at Fox, he had his hour slot at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? Remember that? And then he also had a separate thing that he did where it was paid subscriber with Fox. So what I think he's planning on doing, and this could change and I could be wrong, is he's thinking of doing his 8 o'clock slot, possibly through Newsmax, since I do believe we've also bought Newsmax, to keep them from going bankrupt. See, Lizzo wants to bankrupt any news organization that she can't control, okay? Because she's planning on rigging the 2024 elections. And we're going to try to make it difficult. Lori McBride did rig the 2020 elections, though she wasn't able to stop me from becoming president. So basically, I've saved the country. Yeah, though in August, because of a very serious mistake I made where I accidentally murdered. I mean, it's kind of complicated, but Lizzo used brain control. I mean, I murdered like 72 million people. It's like, whoa, that's too big. I wasn't comfortable with making a mistake that big. So that's why I've given the job to Brent. However, I do advise him, and Brent has been telling a lot of people about some of the counsel I've given him, and apparently I've made some good moves, and I believe he has asked the people if they would like to vote for me to be the Supreme Empress of their country. See, as a result of us buying Twitter, we're going to make sure Twitter stays up as a free speech platform, and we also bought Newsmax. That way we can make sure that everybody in the United States has a voice. You see, I would call it, I don't know if I'd call them conservative. I think I'd more call it the freedom lovers, because I'm not really conservative or liberal. I'm my own person. If you want to see what my political stands are, you can go to my website and check. Like when I made Tucker our press secretary, he was a Democrat. Yeah, he just recently became a Republican like a couple years ago, because Lori McBride, when she was bad, really messed up the Republican Party. So yeah, basically I hear that brain to brain that Brent has been asking the people to vote if they would like me to be Supreme Empress. You might say, well, haven't you been the Empress since 2014? Yes, but I haven't been the Supreme Empress. You may say, what's the difference? If I'm Supreme Empress, what it means is, for the United States, is I actually like the three-tiered system of government that we have in this country with the judicial branch, legislative, executive branch. I like all that. The only problem is we are in a situation right now where the elections are very easily rigged. I mean, it's just a piece of cake. The satanic side has got almost complete control over the news media, and that's basically all you need to rig an election. If you have control over the news media, you can do it. You can pull it off. All you have to do is lie about the election results, put fake statistics up there. Say, you might say, well, they can't do that because the people are on the ground filming people going to the polls. Well, you saw how they did it in the last election. Yeah. And then they gaslight you when you point out stuff that's pretty obvious. So yeah, it's, yeah. That's why I said it was so important. See, there's an old adage, and I think this actually came from Stalin or some communist. A lie told over and over again becomes the truth. So basically, you can actually win a war through propaganda alone. That's how the Vietnam War was won. The U.S. military did not lose a single military battle in Vietnam, but they lost the war. Why? Because they couldn't control the propaganda. And the American public didn't like the war. They didn't like the casualties that were being reported on the news in the United States. And they said, we want this war to end. And guess what? That ended the war. Vietnam won. They won that war, even though they didn't win all their battles. Lizzo seems to know this, okay? She seems to know that you don't necessarily have to be the greatest on the battlefield to win a war. You just have to be a good strategist. You just need to know how to, Yep, that's why she's really big into brain control. Another thing that we're doing is we're using automaton news reporters. Because let's say we had an election today, okay? An election for president. And Lizzo didn't like the way people were voting. It's like, oh no, they're voting for somebody that I don't like. She does not like Trump, I can tell you that right now. Because Trump is in our cabinet and he will not be her patsy. To be honest with you, I think I could be happy with either Ron DeSantis or Trump, either one. And maybe even some. We've got Bernie Sanders in our cabinet. Like I told you, I am not, I'm my own person. Yeah. So, you say, what does it mean to be Supreme Empress? What it means is that, let's say, the House passes a bill that they want to, like right now, I really think the border should be protected. Okay? You may say, what's going on with the borders? I hear what's going on with the borders is Lizzo is taking advantage of the fact that she doesn't have much time left with her patsy Biden. We actually made Donald Trump Secretary of Immigration in my cabinet because I like his immigration policies. I think the borders need to be secure. Even though it's true the Jesuits can use transporter technology to transport their Jesuits into our country, she's trying to make, but we can get on that and take them right out. But she's trying to make some of them legal citizens, and she's trying to sneak them in, because if she has more of her Jesuits that she can make into legal citizens, then she can sway the vote more in her favor. Mm-hmm. And right now, from what I understand, our military is at the borders defending our borders. She's actually using transporter technology to transport her Jesuits just outside the borders. Then they try to come in through that channel and get processed as, eventually to be processed as American citizens. And they are terrorist thugs, because that's what Lizzo Jesuits are. In fact, I dealt with some the other day on my bus. That was very interesting. Yeah, we had to call in the military. I was on the bus and I said, call in the military, Brent. We got Lizzo Jesuits here. I could tell. And we dealt with them. Lizzo Jesuits are terrorists. So yeah, I also have lightning bolt powers. Yeah, like if I, let's say I'm going out for a walk and a Lizzo Jesuit is genuinely threatening me, I can use my lightning bolt powers on them. And I can just do that by commanding it from my mind and take them out that way. The lightning bolt powers are just, though, they only work if somebody's about to kill me or if they're a threat. Anyways, check the links at my website, because I talk a lot about Tucker Carlson. And I believe Tucker is, I'm not sure about this, but he may be planning on having a broadcast on Newsmax. The only problem that I have with him, if he is going to be broadcasting from Twitter, I'm just hoping it will be free, okay? See, the advantage with him broadcasting from Fox News is not everybody is willing to pay a subscription to listen to him. And it is free at Gabriel Chana Fox News if you have, yeah. But let's say people that are 50 and up, they're more into cable television, and he's going to lose that audience if Twitter I don't know how Twitter's set up for like 50-minute videos, okay? Because that's what he used to do at Fox. So I'm just hoping that whatever he comes up with, that it's going to be very similar to what he had at Fox. I have been watching Newsmax, and I like them better than Fox News right now. Yeah, I mean, they're not perfect. They've got a lot of fake news in there, too. Gabriel Chana Fox is the best, 00 on cable. But I think it would be really cool if Tucker had like an hour show on Newsmax, because that's going to be free. It's really easy to get it on. I actually don't have Newsmax in my cable lineup. I'd have to pay extra for it, I think. But I can get it free through the internet, because they have a live stream that you can watch. So that's how I watch it. Yeah, I don't have a big television anyway, so I just use my computer monitor. And yeah, I would think it would be really cool if Tucker, and I think he's thinking of doing this, where he's going to have an hour-long show on Newsmax, and then he uses Twitter to promote a broadcast, like a subscriber streaming service where you can watch more of him through maybe his website, which is kind of like what he did at Fox. I think they called it Fox Nation. Though I'm hearing that I never subscribed to his streaming service, but I'm hearing that the streaming service had some problems with broadcasting. There were glitches. So they're going to need to work all that out. Yeah, we have been trying to take over Fox. And I think we did literally take over their studios, but Lizzo has made a copy of their studios and put it on her Space Fleet. So, but because I think we did make a copy of the Fox News studios, and also because we have something that broadcasts really well from Gabriel Chana Fox News, we're trying to set Tucker up with a professional studio where he'll be able to broadcast professional quality broadcasts, kind of like what he had at Fox, so that he has an audience. Because if we can get Tucker back on the air, because he was the most popular broadcaster in all of broadcasting history, if we can get him back on the air, we possibly could use him to prevent the next election being rigged. I mean, if it is rigged, it's not going to be the end of the world, because Brent is truly the president. But it would be nice if we could have a little bit more consistency between the real president and the position of presidential assistant, which is the mainstream news president. Okay? Or maybe the fake news president. Yeah, because I just don't like it that, like, if we have one policy, but the fake news president has an opposite policy, the public could get confused about what's really going on, and could cause the confusion can cause problems. So that's why I thought it would be a good idea if we could get rid of a fake news president who is promoting policies that are opposite the true presidential policies for my husband, President Brett. Okay, so that's why we would want to fix that if we can. And I do think that Lizzo is planning on rigging the upcoming presidential and House, Senate, judicial elections, all of them. Trying to get her patsies in all those spots to prepare the way for her totalitarian dictatorship over the world. Yeah. I also think she's trying to set up a form of apartheid where the blacks will be ruling over the whites. I really do think she's trying to do that as well. And that would not be good. Actually, the blacks wouldn't like it either. We've got a lot of blacks that don't like Lizzo. Yeah, they don't like her. I mean, she murdered a black guy in Tennessee who was one of my supporters. It made big news. She was the one, she used a bunch of black people I think there were even black police officers that ganged up on this guy and killed him. Simply because he was one of my supporters. And that's why Tucker lost his job at Fox News, because he's one of my supporters. So we are working on trying to fix her monopoly over the news so that it will be harder for her to rig the next elections. If we can get Tucker back into mainstream somehow, like if he has a broadcast on, goodness, she just gave me amnesia, Newsmax, in combo with maybe broadcasting from his own website or from Twitter, that would probably be powerful enough where she will not be able to rig the next elections. Okay? If she does succeed in rigging them, like Lori succeeded in rigging the 2020 elections, you might say, Lori did not completely rig them, though. We were able to get some of our people in. But she rigged most of it. Yeah. She rigged most of it. Yeah. So if we can prevent a major rigging in the next elections, we probably could maybe have more consistency between the real presidential policies as opposed to the fake. Anyways, but if they get rigged, it's not the end of the world. We'll just do like we're doing right now. We'll just tell everybody just ignore the news, go to 00 on cable, and watch the real news, because everything else is lies. But Lizzo is very audacious, and she could possibly, right after she rigs the elections, she could possibly announce that she is the president, that there's no such thing as a President Brett. And that she could just try to take over the country that way. And she may accomplish a blackout on Gabriel Chon of Fox News at the same time she does that, which I think is what she's trying to do. That's why we're trying to prevent her from having a total monopoly over mainstream news. Yeah. That's pretty outrageous of her to take down Tucker, because he was the most popular broadcaster in all of broadcasting history. And it's obvious she did that because she's planning on rigging the upcoming elections. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and post this video because I'm due to do that. And yeah, I'm going into summer strategy here. I'm pretty well prepared for the summer, though. And I've been getting along marvelously well without a car.